Hello, love wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week? The Rats lost! If you got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Listen between two beers.
Hello, love wrestling. It is Thursday night, and it is 8 p.m.
Yes, it is.
By now, you better all know what it means. There's been 208 of these damn things.
Yeah, and yes, Ryan, we can tell you what to do.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can.
Like Love Wrestling says here, if you're here early or if you're here right now, throw a like on tonight's stream. We want all the likes tonight. I would like 50 likes tonight.
50? Are you taking your shirt off if we get to 50?
No, I'm not.
One
but
day.
I would
One
like
day.
50 likes. And if you're new here, first of all, welcome. And second of all, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Do
One
all
day
the-
to all of our JPJ stands out there, we will get that tarp off for you.
Maybe.
One day for all them.
You know, not everyone is privileged to see this. You know?
The Boston Anger Fan Club.
It's Boston sadness this week, Pluggo, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Tuesday felt like a funeral. That was a...
Yeah, I would imagine.
Oh,
my dog was not in the fight for this one. They got bounced early in round one.
Yeah.
So, but I can
Good
imagine,
series, though.
somebody going down like that. You know,
It's just like, man, it's just, you know.
It's gut wrenching is what it is. It's heartbreaking. We got Dan in the house. We got Ryan in the house.
Dan Ryan's here. Scott's in here. Yeah, it's just a, you know, it's still embarrassing. Even though I think we could still win the series, but
sure,
I think we can. If we win tomorrow night,
3-3, Game 7 at the Garden
in Boston, I'm telling you. And the Knicks are historically a choker franchise. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not inconceivable.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. Do I think we can win a championship? Absolutely not. Probably. It changes the whole trajectory of the league for the next 2 to 4 seasons. Like everything, Tatum's going to miss most of all next year. He's probably, and when he comes back, it's not like he's just going to come back and be the Jason Tatum that had 43 points before that happened, having one of the best games of his career. Like, you know, he's not just going to come back and be that guy right away.
Maybe,
you know,
maybe
if he did, great.
Mamba mentality.
Yes, but it took Kobe a while.
I know, but maybe Jason's different. Who knows? Maybe he's built different. I don't know.
Yeah,
I made it optimistic for you.
But if you watched that game last night, it probably was, and this doesn't say anything about Tatum because people will take it that way. This doesn't say anything about Tatum, but that was easily the best all-around basketball game they played this playoffs last night.
Prove something.
So if they have that Luke Cornett coming in here and just being like, yo, dogs, get on my back. Get on my back. 5 blocks, bro.
The Luke Cornett game.
All of a sudden.
Does he still do that weird jump thing with the 3?
Yeah. And then he does the
Dork.
not the EO, but he does like a
dork.
Yeah. If you listen to interviews with that guy, he's a character. He's a character. Oh yeah, no, it's gut wrenching. It's gut wrenching.
But you know it's not gut wrenching tonight. We have the Foleys, a Mick Foley inspired punk rock band coming on at 9:00. You want to hang out and see those guys? It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Mick Foley inspired punk band.
Talk about perfect punk band. Mick Foley inspired, and they're from my neck of the woods. It was like a perfect thing. I was like, okay, Maria's in the house.
Yeah, we got everyone rolling in. Before we start diving in, as you can see, below PLUGGO there, you see our new.
Did you see the pictures that Stephen Crow took with that championship?
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
You
see our new grand champion right there. You see our new head honcho in AEW, Stephen Crow.
Yeah.
You see LPW 37, May 30th. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May.
We got something going on tonight when it comes to that. Tickets, right?
Yeah, those tickets are still available
tonight only.
Yeah,
and you can get $5 off with the code OIL5. I believe I said that right. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure I said that right. OIL5. That's right.
Is that because the Oilers are going to win in 5? But
they won in 5. They already won in 5. They won in 5 last night, didn't they?
Go to Tixar.com.
That's because the Oilers won in 5 last night, right? They made it to the Western Conference Finals again. Is that right?
I don't know. Something hockey.
Wow. At least I try to pay attention.
Listen, my new obsession is this guy has decided to break down the Mighty Ducks trilogy and explain to us why Gordon Bombay is the worst sports coach in movie history.
The worst.
Yeah, and you know what? At first I was like, because that is my movie franchise. That is my series. And this dude's full of, there's no way. He's actually making some really great points.
I bet.
I have to send them to you. I wouldn't be able to do it justice.
So,
Oil 5 to get $5 off tickets because you
correct. If you are in the Edmonton area or will be in the Edmonton area on May 30th, you can get tickets tonight.
Gianna Perazzo's going to be there, guys.
Yeah, for real.
Now, I wonder what Spencer thought when he saw the Stephen Crow's Shawn Michaels-esque photo shoot with his grand championship.
I mean, it was the only way that it had to be, right? It felt right.
I'm surprised
that is exactly how that should.
I'm surprised it took this long for that to happen.
Yeah. Fernando, I'm not nervous. I mean, with the Tatum injury, I mean, there's nothing to be nervous about. My ambitions of a championship have really gone out the window now without him. So it's really, I think they can still win this series, but I mean, I think if they win tomorrow night, they'll win the series, and it will be hilariously embarrassing for the Knicks, and that would be incredible. And then Indy would probably beat us without Tatum, maybe.
Halliburton, baby.
Yeah, I would think.
Indiana basketball.
I have. It's one of those things where we shouldn't have even been in this situation, and I don't want the Tatum injury to let the team off the hook and let the coach off the hook, because you shouldn't. I'm not saying the game was officially over when Tatum got injured, but the game was looking like it was already over. We were going to be down 3-1 either way, which is we have a minute to go, which is an embarrassment. An embarrassment. Because we are leaps and bounds better than the New York Knicks, who are trash. Jalen Brunson, great player. That guy's a dog. I would want that guy on my team any day. The rest of them, garbage. Garbage, including Karl Anthony Towns. Plays so soft. For a guy his size, it infuriates me. And we were going down 3-1 either way. Ridiculous. Anyway.
Live from the land of chowder and pain. JPJ.
I just played the audio because I thought
Why would you do that with the video? Without the video?
I thought you were just gonna keep talking.
No.
I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to lose it.
That's it. My thing is that happened in Game 5, right? The Tatum injury happened in Game 5. If we weren't playing like a bunch of bozos, the series shouldn't have even gone 5. We should have swept these bums.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
Goodness. Oh boy. Here we go. That's
Live from the land of chowder and pain, JPJ's losing his freaking brain. Boston anger, turn up the heat. He's got opinions with no defeat.
best thing ever.
We are down 3-2, right? We played 5 games in this series. Do you know the only thing that has happened in all 5 games? The only thing that has happened in all 5 games. The Celtics had at least a 14-point lead in all 5 games. And we've lost 3 of them to a bum-ass New York Knicks team who suck.
It's so good when you yell over the audio. It makes me laugh even more. Oh, shout out to Dustin. Dustin, you're the man.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Oh, well, we'll see because they play tomorrow night, right?
Yes, and I'm never going to pick against my team, but in New York, Madison Square Garden, the atmosphere is going to be tough for them. It's going to be tough for them to play as great as they did last night there. I would expect the Knicks to be stronger at home. However, all the pressure, because we won that game, all the pressure now is on the Knicks because they haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals in like 25 years. They've been historical losers. And like all the pressure is, and now they're at home. It's like the most important home playoff game they've had in 30 years. And like all the pressure is on them now, which I like because historically they shit themselves all the time.
Oh, boy.
Now, with that being said, I'm not going to sit here and say I feel confident that we're going to win that game tomorrow. But would I be shocked if we did? No, because even without Jason Tatum, we are better than them.
Well, we're at 9 likes and you wanted 50, so we need 41. So share this out to your friends. Hit that like, subscribe.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
I told you pre-show.
Yes. Now I want.
I know we're gonna talk back. Like, it's not anger. It's just I got a question, and I've been sitting on it all day. It's what's helped get me through the day. We'll talk Backlash a little bit here in a little bit. We're gonna start with AEW. Oh. This is my soapbox moment. So Dustin, do you have a cool soapbox video I can jump on? So last night at the end of Dynamite, Gabe Kidd comes out. It looks like he's either with the 8 EVPs or he's with the Death Riders. He came out and helped Mox retain his championship. So, you know, being the old internet savvy guy that I am, hey, look, Gabe Kidd came out and helped the Death Rider, Jon Moxley, retain his title. I got flooded with who comments throughout the entire comment section. So my question to you, and the reason that I bring this up, is when AEW signs a talent that is formerly of WWE, everybody goes, oh, they just re-signed just WWE talent. They just coast off of WWE talent. But then when they sign somebody that's not from WWE, who's this guy? Look at this. They just signed no-name guys and tell us that they're special. So which one is it? Which one do we want, internet wrestling community? Do you want AEW to keep signing talent that you exclusively know and that you're going to dog because they came from a different promotion? Or would you like them to start building up other stars? Because we've also seen that AEW has built up some of these stars and then you've taken them into WWE's fold and used them for your own. So which one is it, JPJ? Help it make sense to me. I think it's silly. And also Google exists. If you don't know who Gabe Kidd is, take a second, Google him, find out about it. But you can't have it both ways, internet wrestling community. We can't be mad at them for signing WWE talent exclusively, but then go, they signed this no-name guy and they're telling us he's important.
These people you're referencing are not.
I'm just asking.
This isn't like a normal person that you're talking about, like you or me saying this stuff. This is the people that bend the knee at WWE, and everything WWE does is excellent, and everything that everybody else does is terrible.
But
these are the ultimate losers.
But again, and we know who Gabe Kidd is. We're familiar. He's been on AEW before. He's done a lot of great things in New Japan.
Yeah.
I just feel like if we're going to be this tribalistic fan, if you're going to be that tribal, you got to pick a side. You can't have it both ways.
Their side. But there's a thing. They don't want it both ways. They are going to shit on AEW no matter what they do. So that's what they do.
But it's silly to me that you would say they don't build their own stars. They don't build their own stars. Then they try to build stars that you don't know, and you're like, well, I don't know these people.
No, but again, it's silly to you, yes. But that's what's because it doesn't. They don't. There is no sense. They don't care.
Yeah,
they're just always going to go against AEW.
Cousin, maybe
Jason Kidd, Gabe Kidd, Tyson's kid.
But yeah, I figured I was sitting there like this morning, and I was just sitting there thinking about it, and I'm just like, it makes no sense to me that you could be mad about. So what are they supposed to do then? What is any other company? And this is to all those fans that bend the knee at one promotion and one promotion only. It goes both, but it goes both ways. So if you're that AEW fan that believes WWE, blah blah, what do you want, wrestling community? What do you want? I don't understand. Because you can't win. How are you supposed to build stars if you don't?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the people you're referring to, they don't want.
What do they want? Help it.
It doesn't matter what they want because no matter what happens, they're shitting. Like they don't think logically. It's not like that. It's not like you can convince them or make them happy. That's what I'm saying. The people that come from that.
Did you guys talk about this morning? I was.
Yeah, because Drew's pissed about it too.
Yeah, Drew gets it.
Not specifically about the Gabe Kidd situation, but similar, just in general.
Yeah,
We talked about it more with the people that are, John Cena main evented Backlash and had another terrible fucking match to main event Backlash.
Well, I got that too.
Fucking awful. And we had people in our chat who are in our chat. Yo, what's going on? We had people in our chat who we adore, who are in our chat every week, who we like, but they were like, well, he said he was going to ruin wrestling. And then that pissed me off because I was like, that is WWE has fucking fooled you guys so much and gaslit you so much that they've convinced you that they can book shitty main events and it's okay because that's supposed to happen. You're supposed to watch a main event and it suck and not be entertaining and be awful, but it's supposed to be that way because no.
It's supposed to be entertainment first and foremost, so
correct.
If it's not entertaining, then they're not doing their job. But yeah, no, I understand that. And I get that I'm talking to a certain group of people that I can't figure out, but I also would love to figure out how that works. I don't understand it, and it's been driving me crazy. I do. I would love to figure it out.
No, you don't. Because morally, you probably know where most of those type of people stand, and you don't.
But I do get I do get the luxury of getting bombarded on a daily basis with comments like that. So I was just curious if I've
said it for a long time. I don't know why you care so much about those type of people.
I don't care, but it does pay the bills.
That's fair.
If they don't comment, I don't get paid. And if I don't get paid, I can't afford this expensive get-up that I wear.
It's not that you shouldn't want them to comment. I just don't know why you care about their comments.
Because that's how my world works. I just was curious, especially in this particular situation, because I looked at last night's main event at Dynamite, and I went, Gabe Kidd makes a ton of sense in that group. If that's the way they go with no Pac, that could make sense. It's a great way to kind of introduce him into the mainstream wrestling lore.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate it necessarily.
I didn't hate it either. I thought it was.
Then I was like, am I the crazy one for knowing who this is and and everybody else is like, oh, some no-name guy's a main eventer now. And I was like, no, that's not how that works. But okay. And I was just curious because if we would have signed who just got released, if they sign all those people, they're going to be mad that they signed all those people. So I was like, this is just a weird dynamic that does intrigue me in a way. I don't know why. But anyway, I just thought I'd ask because I think it's crazy. I think it's insane.
Yeah, well, the people that are doing that are fucking mentally not okay. They need to speak to people. They're fucking losers.
But Google works, right? You can Google.
Yes,
gay
but they're not
kid.
going to Google because then they're not going
Maybe.
to. They don't want them to do the right thing.
That's what I should do to the Who comments. I should send them a Google link of a gay kid match.
Yeah.
Help them. Help grow. I'm trying to help the community get better. I'm trying one fan at a time.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Brian Sullivan dropping rumors. They're saying Gabe Kidd's not even really a kid.
I've heard that. I've heard that. I think especially in an Anarchy in the Arena match, he's gonna be a little wild. He's gonna be a little wild in that match.
You know, it was a rough week for you. It was a rough week for me in the sense that John Cena destroyed R-Truth. That you bum, John Cena. You don't even have the decency to like DM me about the link because I told you to come on and defend yourself. You don't touch the sweet baby angel that is R-Truth. You just don't.
Yeah, I mean,
R-Truth came out and saved you. That's the reason you still have the title. And then all he said was he still defends you even though people think you suck. And you ate him through a table. You're a bum. Bum, John Cena. Bum. Don't ever touch R-Truth again. He is a national.
I mean,
treasure.
they're gonna have. Well, the rumor is they're fighting at Saturday Night's Main Event.
He better not lay a hand on R-Truth.
Well, I think your boy might be in trouble.
Well, hopefully they hug it
Your boy
out.
might be in trouble.
Hopefully he comes to his senses.
But yeah, that is the rumor that next week, Saturday Night's Main Event. We know a couple matches already.
Oh, yeah,
but it's gonna.
Jesus.
There's a lot of wrestling next week.
I know.
There's Saturday Night's Main Event on Saturday, and then on Sunday is both NXT Battleground and Double or Nothing
at the same damn time.
Yeah, Double or Nothing starts at 7, I think, and Battleground starts at 8. I think Battleground starts later.
Oof.
So they're both going head to head with each other.
That sounds painful to keep up with.
What the hell?
Oh,
what the hell, guys?
Well, if you've noticed a bit of a trend with the WWE, they're like all of a sudden Evolution's rumored to be the same week as all Weekend and Day as All In. They're trying. I get it. They're trying for a company that doesn't pay attention to the other one. They definitely are counter programming them. Yeah. So I mean, hey,
listen, WWE right now.
You like it? More wrestling's good.
Listen, I feel like WWE lately, to me, has come off a bit cocky with some of the things they're doing and some of the business decisions they're making. I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but I feel like they're being a little bit more cocky and upfront about things. And
Drew said he's only watching one of those.
Well, he doesn't watch NXT.
I watched NXT this week. It was good. It was all right. It wasn't as good as last week's, but it was all right.
Yeah, I like Miles Bourne.
My Tuesday night is generally free now, so it's a lot easier. So I make sure to at least get one show in without having to one show live at least, and it happens to be NXT right now during the summer. But yeah, Miles Bourne, cool promo. But if we want to talk, it was a good promo, nice stuff. Dempsey, Dempsey. That I still love that little dynamic there. But I mean, I don't think he's beaten Oba, but
no,
match.
That was a good promo. Yeah, I feel that. I do feel like there are a lot of. It does feel like there are a lot of wrestling shows happening. All of this, there's this one. Then 2 weeks later, it's this one. Then a week and a half later, we got this, and then we got that. It's like, okay, wait a minute.
But let's be.
I mean, I love pro wrestling. I'm cool. But can I? I feel like as a fan, I'm like, can I breathe?
Right, but as the WWE, it's smart. People want to pay you to put on a show. And,
I get it. Business,
make your money, but it does. It is hard for them to build some stories where get us invested in some really long-term stuff because 2 weeks, boom, 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 and then of course I'm kind of throwing this year out as a weird outlier because it's not every year we're going to have the John Cena retirement tour throwing. What I want to say wrench because it sounds like a bad thing, but just throwing plans I'm sure that they initially were going to have kind of out of whack to make room for Cena. So, and then on top of all the shows, but it's good. I mean, hey, it gives me something to do, I guess. NXT is the best product under the WWE umbrella right now, Scott says.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying consistently it's been the best show on WWE for a hot minute. A hot minute now. I've been saying that for a while. It's yeah. See, yeah, that's crazy.
Well, then if you expand even further there, Ope, you got the following week after that, All In, Evolution. Because, we're going to, right? No,
That's
June.
July.
Never
That's
mind.
July.
Last year, Money in the Bank was in July, and I remember that vividly.
Yeah, I don't know. They're moving all sorts of stuff, but all right.
Backlash, huh? What did you think?
Talk. I thought it was fine. I thought the show started off very good. I thought the Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. title was a good time. And I thought that Becky Lyra match was the best match on the show.
Sure.
Incredible. Let me tell you. Lyra Valkyria. Oh.
Told you she was going to win.
Tremendous. I'm happy she did. I do think Becky takes it from her eventually, though. I
don't know. Becky Slim Shady Lynch is
she's calling out the whole roster, putting them on notice. You're finally gonna find out what it feels like to be held down by the man, she said at the end of it. I was like, oh, excuse me, Becky.
I posted that.
I am quote. Whatever you say I am.
I posted that quote and somebody goes,
the paper every day I am.
And somebody goes, phrasing, dude, phrasing. And I go, I'm not the one that phrased it that way. Becky Lynch knew what she was saying when she said that.
Radio won't even play my jam.
Yeah.
I thought that match was terrific. We talked about it last week, but I thought over the last couple of weeks they have immediately turned Lyra into a star, and I think that type of match that they had at that pay-per-view with Lyra coming out on top like that, I think they just, the last 3 weeks they have turned her into a legitimate person on the main roster. I thought it's been excellent. And that promo on Monday with Becky was excellent. It's good stuff. It's good stuff there.
Fernando saying Lyra's IC championship reign has been rejuvenated. Yes, and it's been rejuvenated by one Becky Lynch. Thank you, Becky. Yes. Not Becky Hogan. Becky Lynch. Thank you.
It's crazy
that you want to be a part of the mid-card title scene and elevate a talent. Thank you.
Crazy.
Everyone else can kick rocks.
Crazy how I hear from so many people how all she does is come back and win all the time.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Nuts. Nuts what happens when she comes back and fights for a mid-card title and puts the fucking other person over.
Crazy talk.
Yes. She wins everything all the time. Yes.
I'm excited for Becky Lynch's IC title reign. Oh, wait, she lost.
Yes.
Yes, she got her heat back right away, but that's because they're going to further this story, which they should, because that match ruled. It easily was the best match of the night. That's no slight on everybody else, but they just absolutely took it to another level. Dustin asked about Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb debuted. That was dope.
Got a good pop.
Did you notice when Jeff Cobb debuted, not everybody went, who? They were like, oh, Jeff Cobb, it's dope. He's in WWE. Yeah, that's how you should keep that same energy, fam.
Listen. I don't want to turn into the one side over the other thing, but we talked about it briefly today on Firmly, but there are toxic people on both sides of the wall. However, there are far less toxic people on one side of the wall. And that is why when you see somebody like Jeff Cobb debut, which I guarantee you there were more people on the WWE side of the wall that were thinking, who's this? Who's this guy? I haven't seen this guy. Because they don't watch anything besides WWE. Sure. A lot of fans, which is fine. The side on AEW, most of those fans know who Jeff Cobb is, so they don't come out and say, whatever. And
I need a song that goes, I'm on my soapbox, beep, boop, bop.
Yeah. But
speaking of Jeff Cobb, did you see the post show with Fatu? They asked him about it. And he didn't look happy when he left the arena that day, but he also basically was like, I know nothing about it, so I got no comment on it.
Yeah.
Do we think that this was Solo's like, here's a gift to you. I helped you retain. Now we're all hunky-dory, kumbaya Friday on SmackDown. And then Fatu's still like, nah, I'm good? Or do we kind of
Yeah, I think that's the route. I think Fatu didn't know anything about it. I think Solo's going to play it off like this was a master plan to help Jacob, but I think Jacob is going to think about it like, no, you guys are going to turn on me.
Get out of here
at some point, or like I didn't sign off on this because I think I think this is the start of them like turning Jacob fully babyface. You would think, right? Because the crowd,
I would think so. Yeah,
he's so over, dude.
Yeah, he's so over, and the way he left the ring. Mrs. Pluggos in the chat. Hi, honey, love of my life. You're beautiful. My tribal cheeks. I acknowledge you. And then Modern Phantoms is in the house. Hello.
That was pretty good.
That's good, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think, and then Fernando saying that Solo and Jeff will just turn on Fatu and help him babyface cement there. I would like to see that, but only Fatu does the, he's like, I'm out. Because I think you beat down Jacob, yeah, but I think I want to see Jacob stay strong and kick the shit out of them. Yeah. And then we're like, yeah, get him. Yeah. And then he's off to the races. But same thing.
Yeah.
Foleys will be on in a half an hour. We're at 9 likes. Let's get to 10. Let's get to 50. Let's share, subscribe, tell your friends. Modern Phantoms gave like 9. And Scott acknowledges Mrs. Pluggo as well, as you should. Everybody should.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, it is what it is.
So what else we had?
So I thought the show started off real strong with those 2 matches.
Yeah.
Scary spot at the end of the 4-way with the big spot that happened. Apparently Damian Priest got some dental stuff happen to him that he wasn't thrilled about, and Drew McIntyre completely missed the table, his head. And he hit the ground, and they were nervous that, they were nervous that something might have happened. But according to Triple H afterwards, he said everybody was okay, a little banged up, but okay. So hopefully that's good. And then the third match was Penta and Dom, which was short. That was the shortest match on the show, went under 10 minutes. And there was obviously some stuff at the end that happened with Judgment Day getting involved, Chad Gable getting involved.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Who? Google him. That ain't Chad Gable.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm trying to catch you off guard because I'm the one that fights because they are not the same. Grande Americano gets involved.
Drew's somewhere eye is twitching right now with the thought of you calling him Grande Americano.
So that happened. Dom retains.
Which I was surprised a little bit. I thought for sure they might pull the trigger there because, like I said, I didn't think he needed to have a long reign. But
yeah. Hey. So that happened. Then we had Gunther and Pat McAfee.
Yeah, what did you think about? I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this.
I thought that it was better than I had anticipated it to be. I would have switched. This should have been the shortest match on the show, in my opinion. I would have switched the time with the time that Dom and Penta got and the time that this got. I would have switched. But I thought for what it was, I was sports entertained in this match. The only critique I had in this match was that when Gunther first hit him with the choke, Pat McAfee in no way, shape, or form should have fucking hulked up like that.
Dude.
And got back to his feet and fuck you. That should not have happened. I was like I'm not going to say angry, but I was like, are you kidding me? That good, like this guy is going to do that. No. When Gunther puts the chokehold on Pat McAfee goes night-night. That's what happens there. He doesn't hulk up for a little bit and then go night. No, he goes night-night. He's Pat
McAfee had a better match with Gunther in terms of length and staying in it than a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, which again, whatever. I actually really like the Michael Cole part
where he's like holding on to his leg.
Yeah, like I very much was very in on the Michael Cole aspect of this match. Like I was like, yeah, Michael. I was in on it.
I did see a lot of discourse on how Michael Cole sits there at that announcer desk all the time talking about cheating, and then he's out there cheating.
Listen, yeah, but Gunther tried to hurt him.
But it's not his fight. Stay out of it.
Yeah, but Pat's in there because of him.
Yeah, but you can't go start to help somebody cheat to win when you complain about cheaters all the time at the
Yeah.
commentary. Come on, Cole, make it make sense, my guy.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
So you're saying it's okay to cheat in certain situations and not others?
I just think, listen, you call me a heel if you want. If you have an opportunity to
so you're okay with cheating across the board is what I'm saying.
If you have an opportunity to get an advantage, you take the advantage. If you don't do it, somebody else will.
Fair enough.
So that's
no, I get it. I get it. Just don't be a hypocrite, Michael Cole. No, but McAfee got the sign of respect out of Gunther, which I personally didn't love that.
Wait, what?
Where he kind of gave McAfee the sign of respect at the end.
Oh, after?
Because it's like, what did you guys fight about then?
I was more upset that 2 nights later, Pat McAfee just came out on Raw like he was fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, I know it made sense, guys. I'm just kidding.
I was more
the logical people in the chat. Always calm down. I'm just kidding. You guys are awesome.
But so in my brain, I was like, you couldn't have sold it a little bit more, Pat. You couldn't have been walking with a.
Hey, Pat McAfee is an athlete in his own right.
Dude. Oh yeah, punter, huge athlete.
He's tough. He's a tough SOB.
Yeah. Yeah,
sure. He told him he's like, you'd have to kill him.
All those hits that he took in the league when he was playing, man.
Yeah,
such a tough SOB.
Yeah. He was laying hits more than he was
regardless
giving
of what position you play, you have to be very good to make it to the NFL. You have to be very good to be considered one of the best to ever do it at your position.
Check McAfee's highlight reel, bro. He'd be laying it.
Oh yeah, he's thrown 3 passes. All right, woo.
Oh, I'm talking about laying out kick returners.
No, he has. He has a couple big hits.
Okay, he's the only punter with a 6-minute highlight.
Yeah, because he's the only punter. He was the only punter that had the fucking attitude like he mattered to make a 6-minute highlight reel. You know what most punters, their personalities are? They sit there quietly on the bench because they're barely a football player. You're a punter.
Be nice to punters. Punters are important.
They are. I love a good punt.
Maria agrees with me. Thank you.
Remember who you are.
Yeah.
Remember who you are. You're a punter. All right. It's not like you're a linebacker out there laying people out. You kick the ball. Sometimes you don't even kick the ball all day. You have a day off sometimes.
Yeah. Hey.
So, and you get paid.
Ooh, we shot up to 19 likes. Can we get one more? Who's got us on one more?
Oh, we're getting one more, dude. We're getting one more.
Should we get one more? Let's get.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting hopefully more than one more.
I just watched Ocean's 11 the other day.
Ocean's 11. Who the hell said Ocean's 11?
Do you think we need one more?
Okay. Oh. You watched the remake or you watched the original?
The remake with Clooney and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stars in that cast. Anyway, yeah, it was fine. McAfee got his stuff in and Gunther, but yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna look back at this and go, that was one of Gunther's greatest matches.
No. But for what it was, whatever. And then we had this main event. Oh God, dreadful. It's just,
I take it you hated it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to say I hated it because listen, the entrances, being in St. Louis with Randy fighting in it, the stare down before, it felt like a big deal. It felt like, it was one of those things where we've seen this match 30 times, but in that moment, it was like, this is the last, it felt special. Yeah.
Can you do this? Can you say Gunther punter 5 times fast?
Yeah, Gunther punter, Gunther putter, Gunther putter, Gunther putter.
You screwed it up after the second one.
I said
you
that
said
right
putter. You said putter.
Gunther punter, Gunther punter, Gunther punter, Gunther punter, Gunther punter.
All right, in the chat, let me know. Did he screw it up the first time? He got it on the second.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, it felt like a big fight because it felt special because it felt like the last time. And it was like, we've been watching these guys fight each other for 20 years. It had that feeling to it. And then the match happened and it was just a whole it was almost 30 minutes long, for crying out loud. And the only good part of the match was when Randy RKO'd everybody. That was the only exciting part of the match.
Yeah,
The rest of it was kind of just the same old slow.
Don't get me wrong. I love a quick PLE where it's not 6 hours long, but you could kind of tell this thing dragged a little bit because they should have put another match on because it got long at times where you're like, okay, these guys. And let's be honest, if we're being honest, is John Cena and Randy Orton all-timers? Absolutely. Have they put on some great matches? Absolutely. Are they in their primes right now? No. Do they only have a very limited moveset as it was? Yes. So they kind of exhausted everything early, and they're like, all right, now we got to do this spot with everybody coming out. And then the R-Truth thing happened, and it was just like, it was a little long in the tooth, and it was like, all right. And then to your point earlier about everybody like, oh, well, that was the plan. He's trying to ruin wrestling. It's like, yeah, but we got to come up with something a little bit more creative if that's the route you want to go. It's kind of like, if you're going to go, you got to go all in, and you got to be at least creative with it and entertaining with it so that we can go, yeah, he is ruining wrestling, but at least I'm still leaving entertained. We know he's going to win. But yeah, I don't think it was the best main event I've ever seen out of those two. And I think if Cena's going to keep this going and this ruined wrestling thing going, like, what a weird way to end your career.
Well, I don't think he's going to be this way the whole time.
How does he flip the switch? That's what I want to know. And that's the only reason I'm still invested in this. Is like, how do you flip the switch, John, and go from this guy that you're talking like to, oh, we're all just going to be so happy, hustle, loyal, respect.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how you get there because you've done such. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But hey, we see it. Maria says, "CM Punk."
Nah, that match is going to rule.
We're going to need younger challengers. We should. Yeah, they should. They
should. Yeah, I mean, he's fighting. Let's see. He fought Cody, and then he fought Randy. Now he's going to fight R-Truth, who's the oldest guy on the roster, 53.
I saw somebody's take, and I wish I could give him credit for it.
He should win to knock Vince off the record.
He should win it and then lose it right back.
I talked about this today. Yep, 100%. I saw that. I was like, it's not going to happen.
I was like, I know. When he started talking, everybody started groaning, and then he started going, and I was like, that's not the worst thing I've ever heard. Imagine R-Truth just like, we did it, little Jimmy.
That'd be wild.
I would be down for that.
And then he's going to fight CM Punk. I think Punk would be one of the few guys that I think could take the title from him if they wanted to do it that way. I don't know if they would, though, because SmackDown, technically, that's the SmackDown belt. I don't know. Whatever. But, like, I don't know. I just feel like if you want to do like the ruining wrestling, I almost feel like the type of matches that Roman Reigns was having when he was the champion, how he would have these 30-minute epic matches, and at the end, the bloodline would get involved and just be shitty, and he would win every time via interference. I feel like that was more like ruining wrestling, but still being entertained than what we're seeing with John Cena.
Where was Travis Scott?
There's nothing this time. R-Truth was the guy this time.
R-Truth saving his childhood hero. What a guy. I've never been more upset with R-Truth than in that moment because I wanted nothing more than Randy Orton to punt kick John Cena in the head. But that's only because I've been an avid John Cena, opposed to John Cena for 25 years. Go CM Punk all day, every day, twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
But, and then of course R-Truth takes that right after our girl Mona's question. Takes out R-Truth. Poor R-Truth, man. That was a wild press conference. Did you sit and watch it?
No, I didn't.
I actually, because it got over early enough, and I was like kind of doing some things, and I actually got home from baseball. The game ran late. Right as it started, I sat down, so I was still in my coach's uniform and stuff, so I didn't get a chance to. I was like, I'm gonna leave it on while I get changed, ready for bed, and it was like Fatu spoke. That was it. Then they had Dominic speak, but at the announce desk, so he wasn't even in the scrum.
Yeah.
And then Triple H just starts the Triple H traditional, we're happy to be in St. Louis. We love blah, 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 this, that, the other. They asked him a couple questions. And then Cena just walks out and goes, whispers something in his ear, and Triple H just like gets up and walks away. He's like, well, the champ wants to speak, so I'm just going to give him the floor. He then gave the whole like, oh, I'm going to start taking questions.
Yeah, I saw that part of it where he was like, I've been unfair to you guys, so I'm going to start taking all your questions.
And the first question, R-Truth comes out, interrupts him, and then they're done there. I was like, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh Peck, that was cool.
Josh Peck.
Did you hear Josh Peck doesn't understand why they do WWE does press conferences for a fake sport?
Oh, yeah.
You heard his take?
I didn't.
You guys are nuts. Yeah, we're nuts, but it was still kind of fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did see it, and then he obviously AAs him through the table.
Yeah.
And that's the end there. And I think Cena is walking into SummerSlam as a heel because I think he's going to fight a babyface CM Punk for the title. I think that's where Punk and Cena happens, is main event in one of those nights at SummerSlam.
Although Money in the Bank, just
too soon.
I know, but just for the callback, the history.
The callback to Money in the Bank is the one that makes the most sense for Punk and Cena, but I feel like that's too soon. Like, what are you going to build up a Punk Cena match in a week? I feel like, I get it, but
they didn't really do a shit ton of Orton Cena build up.
They had at least had three. They had more
time.
No,
I'm not saying you're wrong, but they rested super heavily on the fact that, hey, you've seen this before. They've got 20 years of history.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they couldn't do it. They won't do it. It is a SummerSlam night 1 or night 2 main event for sure. Probably night 2. God, night 2. Now we're going to be talking about SummerSlam night 1 and 2 main events. So yeah, of course, yeah. And if any match you didn't need to build, it is Punk and Cena. Yeah. So I don't think you need it, but if they were smart, they would.
Yeah.
But I don't want to run into a situation where we've got 8 weeks of promos with these two, because
that's fair.
You can only say so much.
Yeah.
And we kind of found that out with Cody and Cena, because Cena in this character, in this kayfabe, I'm ruining wrestling, he doesn't say shit. Yeah. So what is he gonna do? Just stand there and Punk's gonna GTS him, which I'll love, but all right. Yeah. I don't know. It was a good. I thought Backlash was fine.
It was fine. I'm
never gonna look back on it and go, yeah, this is one of the best shows of the year. But overall I didn't hate the time I spent.
Yeah, I thought. I did what I had to do.
I think Drew did though. Drew's saying that was too cinematic for him.
Yeah, listen, the John Cena. I think we can say, or I can say, that the heel turn itself is one of those moments. I think Cody will be Maria. I think that is the plan. I could see Punk being one of the guys that could take the belt from John Cena, but I think it'll be Cody that takes it back from him.
What is it? Is it odd to you that the whole we're like anti-Cena because he turned heel and he's ruining wrestling? Had he not turned heel, would people be like, oh, of course they're just giving it to John Cena because he's his last year?
No,
we'd still be anti-Cena.
No, I think the reason why they turned him heel is because this was the one time that we were all going to be rooting for him to win no matter what.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like either way, we got Sami Zayn's going to turn soon.
I wanted to talk about that.
Sam was in the house earlier too. I didn't say shout out to Sam.
I wanted to talk about that for a second when we got to it, because I think Sammy's going to be the third guy with Seth and Braun.
You think so? I mean, it would make sense.
I've been leaning that way. I don't know why in particular, but I think Sammy is going to join that group. I feel like him and Punk are not going to see. I think there's a way. I think there's a way that could happen for a little bit before we get the inevitable Sami Zayn WrestleMania title win next year. I could see that happening. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I thought Raw was pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just feeling a certain. I feel like I haven't been feeling too hot about the WWE, like not the product, because it's still hot as hell and like I still enjoy it, but like, and there's good matches, but I feel like the booking for a lot of it, it's been kind of eh.
Well, they're in this weird because there hasn't been much CM Punk. There hasn't been much. There's not been Cody since Mania. They're missing it, and then Cena.
Roman hasn't been around for a little bit now.
A lot of the stars haven't been around, and they're trying to build some stuff. There's a lot of good stuff I like, and it could just be honestly, to be honest, it could be a little bit of a burnout fatigue. Like we said, there's a bunch of shows. They've WrestleMania was a hot season, boom, boom, boom. Then now we're kind of on the tail end of that. We're ramping up for Money in the Bank already. Saturday night's main event. It's a lot to take in, so it could be that a little fatigue, a little watch fatigue, but. We'll get out of it. I go through that sometimes. Where I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, I just need to take a night off.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch it tomorrow or something.
Yeah, so I feel like I've been enjoying it, but I feel like, maybe it's the lull or something like that, but I'm just kind of like, the shows aren't bad, but they're not nothing's really happening on the show. Like
the post WrestleMania season. Yeah, because it's a little low.
Yeah.
They should not do Backlash after Mania. It needs a month. Yeah, maybe they need to spread it out.
Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Don't hate that. Wouldn't hate a month off.
We got 10 minutes until the Foleys join the mix, and we're going to talk a lot of punk rock. We're going to talk Mick Foley. We're going to talk probably some old school wrestling. They got a new song called Macho Man coming out that we'll play for you guys later as well. Till then,
Macho Man, bro. My goat. Macho Man is my goat. He's my uno numero. Uno.
So I saw we had an eliminator. We had an eliminator match win yesterday.
We had 3 eliminator. I think we had like 2 eliminator matches on the show last night on Diamond. Yeah, we had a win. Fourth win ever.
So I'm sitting there watching it with my son, Owen, and we're just paying attention. And so he has this new thing where he doesn't like to pick. He says it's too hard to pick. And I was like, buddy, that's the fun. You got to pick somebody. And I always let him go first because, I generally think I have a grasp on this thing. And he goes, I'll take Mina Shirakawa. And I went, I'll take Toni Storm because it's an eliminator match and champions never lose those things. Well, and of course, I was absolutely wrong. But Mina Shirakawa is back. Sky Blue is back. That's awesome. So,
and I liked Azumi. I thought she was good in that match.
Too, yeah.
And I liked the post match stuff they did with Mercedes and her, which led to the hater and Mercedes. Like I thought that whole thing worked out very well. I liked the reaction of Toni after, like Shirakawa pins Toni. It's a fatal 4-way. She didn't have to pin Toni, but she actually pins the champion. She pins Toni to win that match. And Toni's shocked, but she's also like, it almost looked like at times she was like kind of happy for Mina.
Because she said in the post, she's like, those are ghosts of my past. She said, all you had to do was call me, Mina.
Yeah. So I think that'll be good. They had the graphic. That's going to happen at Double or Nothing. That should be a lot of fun. It was very cool to see Sky Blue come back. She had a major injury, broke her femur. That's the biggest bone in the body. Had to learn how to walk again. Dustin is asking who is Owen's favorite in WWE and AEW. Cool. Not even paying.
Sorry, I'm our guests are messaging me. Who is Owen's favorite in WWE? So he likes Bobby Lashley. That's his favorite. And he likes Rey Mysterio.
Oh. All right. For a kid, Rey Mysterio makes sense.
That's who he likes. He likes the mask. I think he's drawn to the mask guys.
And then obviously he's drawn to big muscles with Bobby.
Bobby Lashley, that one kind of threw me because I around the time I don't remember
was he the world champ at the time? Was it like pandemic world?
It might have been,
right?
He's only 6, so I'm not sure. Maybe it was Hurt Business stuff or Hurt, where he kind of saw him. But yeah, he likes Bobby Lashley. He likes Rey Mysterio. He's a crazy
Bobby
guy.
Lashley rules. And now MJF is the newest member of the Hurt Syndicate.
Got the thumbs up.
Got the thumbs up. He has to sign a contract next week. Although MVP didn't sound like he was too happy when MJF said that he was going to have a lawyer look it over, which means to tell me that there's some bullshit that's about to be happening in that contract.
It's going to come to a head next week at the signing.
Yeah.
I was happy for MJF when he got the thumbs up.
Something tells me that's just not going to happen the way that it's supposed to happen. So I think either what if
Whose fault is it going to be? Who's going to be the one to? It's going to be MJF.
I always thought that it was going to be MJF. Yeah, that like was always like one step ahead of him, kind of like planning for this in
Well, that
case,
says to me- That says to me MJF better have some buddies.
I think he will.
It hurts
I don't know who.
They hurt people.
Yeah.
They
MJF was very excited.
I don't think he's ever
When
been that happy in his life.
He jumped and cradled Bobby. And then he had the chant. He led the crowd into the "We Hurt People" chant. It was quite a time.
We hurt people.
It's great. So
Yeah.
that happened. What did you think of before all the stuff that was happening with the post-match stuff? And what did you think of the main event with Joe and Mox before all the shenanigans? I thought it was one of what? Yeah.
I thought it was good. I was actually surprised with Tony Schiavone, or was it Tony? It might have been Tony or Excalibur. Was like, this is the first time the AEW World Championship's been defended in a steel cage, and I was like, whoa, really? I had to like think about it. I was like, no, of course it has. No, but yeah, I thought it was a good match. And then of course, all the shenanigans kind of. They come back from break, everybody's around the ring.
Literally, yeah. It's like, everybody's out here now. It's like, cool. Yeah, so that was fun. Alan is asking if we think there's any chance that Saraya returns to. I mean, I think you never say never with anything. I don't.
King Loon.
Drop kick that door open. That's what he did there. Drop kick that door open. This guy. Hey man, what's good? So headbutt. Yeah. I think. Look, there's always a chance. I never say never, especially with WWE and Hunter. I think, if there's a chance to make money and he thinks that they can do something and make money, they'll do it. So, I wouldn't definitively say yes with that one, but I feel like you never want to say never.
Never say never.
Yeah. Everything good with our
the link I sent them is not working.
Uh-oh.
So let me get that fixed.
That's fine. We got time. We're chilling.
We'll get that fixed. You go into some rant.
Rant. I already did all my rants about my Boston, about Tatum and the Celtics and the Knicks, and that's really all that's worth ranting because it is what it is. Saturday night's main event.
Next
Logan
Saturday.
Paul, Jey Uso, John Cena, R-Truth. The 2 title matches potentially. Even though I don't know if that John Cena. Do you think that John Cena R-Truth match is definitely a title match? Has R-Truth earned himself a title match at all?
No, but why not? But why not? Right? Like you're not Saturday night's main event. Titles don't. Yeah, titles don't change hands traditionally.
So you think it will be a title match? That's what we think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why not?
Yeah.
Confident Cena is going to just be like, why not? I'll put the title on the line or something. And how many world title shots has R-Truth got in his career? I know he had that run back at,
I think honestly the last one he got was against Cena. John Cena at Capital Punishment, right?
Yeah, something like that. Because I remember him being on the Hell in the Cell poster back in the day. And I think that was around that time. So why not, dude? Why not?
Yeah.
Give R-Truth the title shot, because at the very least, people will be excited and we'll be talking about what if he shocks the world. We know he's not going to. And Saturday Night's Main Event, again, they don't change titles on that show.
Dustin, I think that could be a good call. I think if they do Cena and R-Truth, I think that could be a good spot where Cody would return. I think that is something they could do for sure. Wouldn't it be wild though? Again, I'm going back to because I feel like you and I heard the same audio that we were talking about that guy making the ridiculous claim that R-Truth should beat John Cena for the title.
Oldest WWE champion.
Just to knock Vince off, because Vince McMahon is technically the oldest WWE champion of all time at 52 years of age. And R-Truth just turned 53. So if he were to beat John Cena and win the world title, he would then be he would then be the longest reigning, the oldest WWE champion.
Yeah.
Which
And,
would
and again, it would just be what you do it for like a week or something crazy.
no,
and
have him win on Saturday night's main event for the title, and then have Cena win it back 2 nights later on Raw. So just have him win it back immediately. Just immediately. That's what should happen there.
So again, I don't know why you leave me in charge of anything, because I sent the wrong link to the crew.
Of course you did.
They're like, it doesn't work. It's asking me to log in. I sent them the Slack link by was when you do it if you copy it wrong. But anyway, if they give me a thumbs up, we'll bring them on whenever they're ready. Oh, we got. I'm looking for the Bobby Lashley 3 thumbs. I need 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, sorry.
We got one. We got one.
No, well,
we're ready. I feel like we hurt people here.
Yeah.
I feel like MJF today.
Yeah.
Anyway, as promised, and we'll talk to them about maybe some more of this current wrestling. But this band, I came across this band a while ago. They're from my area, so it's surprising I've never seen them live, because I'm from South Bend. They're from South Bend.
Hell yeah.
So this works out perfect. They're a Mick Foley inspired punk rock band called the Foleys, and not only that Mick Foley's my second favorite wrestler.
I was gonna say
time.
He's one of my all-time favorites.
I was
in the building when he beat The Rock for the world title.
And they've got a new song coming out at the end of the month called Macho Man, which is your GOAT. So this all just made sense.
It did.
So we're gonna bring them on, ladies and gentlemen. The Foleys are here. Are you bringing them on, or
I'm bringing them on?
Oh, don't push the buttons.
There we go. Look at this.
What's up, guys?
Look at this. We got dude. We got old school man. I love it.
Did you forget one?
Gentlemen?
Oh, okay, we're good.
We got these. Yeah, we got 2 here for now. So yeah, how we doing, guys? Thanks for joining us. We're very excited to have you guys here.
Hey, thanks for having us. We're doing pretty good. We're just waiting on Professor Payne here.
All right, Professor Payne. That's all right. You want to go?
I was just gonna. Thanks for coming on. First and foremost, my first question, and I'm sure how did we become a band? And then how did we land on Mick Foley is the inspiration for the band? Is that something where you went through some other wrestlers first and we're like, oh, we all like Mick. We're all going with Foley.
We had a list. And there were some really bad names on there. But everybody loved Mick Foley. So we were just like, hey, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
When you get set on fire and thrown through explosive tables and barbed wire, or thrown off Hell in a Cell, I mean, there's only one choice there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now is it like, was Mick Foley like, was that always the goal? Was like, we're gonna be a band first, and then, like I said, did you find the love for Mick? Because I find it like, or was that the prerequisite? Is like, we're gonna be a band inspired by a wrestler. You gotta love wrestling to be a part of the group.
Actually, a couple of us were in another band. We started a band a few months before we started the Foleys, and it just didn't pan out with the singer at the time. So we completely revamped, and we're like, hey, it's time to do a gimmick. We've all been in serious bands for like 25 years plus. So we wanted to have fun with it, and we all love wrestling, so this was kind of a no-brainer.
I like it. So on the other side of it, obviously I want to get, we're going to talk about the music, and we do have a little bit of the song your new song that we're going to play a little bit later. On the wrestling side of it, and I'll go to you, dude, first.
Right.
When did you first become a wrestling fan? Like when was it when you were a youngster? Like what was the time of wrestling, or when did you first kind of fall in love with pro wrestling on that side of it?
Oh yeah. By the time I think my younger brother could walk. We're about 5.5 years apart. And I was trying to power bomb him on everything I could. So, I think as brothers do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I loved it. And then, obviously, was it the Attitude Era? Was that the time that you guys started obviously Mick Foley was legendary in, the 90s in general, obviously early in his career with WCW and all that stuff. And then he becomes the Mankind character and kind of the Mick Foley we all grow to love in WWE in the Attitude Era into the 2000s. Is that really the wheelhouse of where you guys were kind of watching wrestling when you first fell in love with it? I just turned 40 years old. So the Attitude Era was right in my wheelhouse of, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old when I'm just infatuated by the shit. And I'm renting all the old tapes when there used to be stores you could go rent stuff at and all this stuff, getting to know and watching all old things. You can see Pluggo with all the stuff behind him.
Promise I'm a professional.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that really the era that you guys started watching wrestling that made you find Mick Foley and just kind of in general, just love wrestling in general?
No, actually, I just started watching yesterday.
All right, fair enough.
Nice, great. Well, what did you think? What was yesterday?
Yeah.
Dynamite. What do you think?
So yeah, I'm in my 40s too. So I started out like back in the 80s.
All right.
When it was WWF, and they used to come to South Bend, to the Joy Center like
Yep.
a year. So my dad took me, and we used to watch Saturday morning wrestling, like all the time. So I mean, it's been a love there since I don't know, I was like 4 or 5.
I love it.
Kind of stuck around. But the band itself, I mean, the Attitude Era is where we draw all of our power from. Really, I mean, like that's the bread and butter for us as far as like our attitude on stage and everything go. Love for wrestling started much sooner, and actually, if Professor Payne can get in here, he actually has ties even farther back.
Very good.
Uncle and his dad were both professional wrestlers, and his uncle was Mr. Indiana, who was a jobber for the WWF back in the 70s.
Wow, that's
So
very cool.
His backstory goes even farther. I mean, we have like a whole legacy there.
Yeah, that's very dope. That's very cool.
There's a possibility that Manny and I were at the Choice Center together for a WWF show back in the day, because that's where I'm from. So I remember that. They took everybody's signs. They haven't been back since during the Attitude Era. The last time they came to the
They
Attitude
took everybody's signs. What do you
They
mean?
would because Notre Dame is traditionally a Catholic college.
Oh, is that the Notre Dame?
The
that's where
Attitude
they
Era
play?
stuff, and then they haven't been back since. Yeah,
Damn.
in the basketball arena. So that's crazy.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah, that is bananas. That is crazy. All right, I see him in the back. I don't know if the camera is on or not, but I see him. Let's see if this will work if I bring him on here.
He was having some
Was he having?
with his browser.
Okay, because he showed up. I don't know if we can hear him or not. Are you there, sir?
I can hear you. Can you hear
All right,
me?
so we can hear him.
Just you can't see
But
him like
there's no
John.
camera. He's like John
Cena.
Cena. You can't see him.
Yeah.
Right.
Should we
Yeah, I
say
don't know
his
what's
name?
going on. When I logged in, it showed that
He's-
I
Say his name.
that
Say
my
his
mic
name
was
and he
working,
appears.
Huh. All right. Let me see. Oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
oh.
All right. Wait a minute.
Could happen.
Now there's at least a box there where you are. Before you were just a ghost. But
Well,
now there's
carry
nothing.
on, and I will listen while I try to clean things up.
That is fine.
my end.
That is fine. That is fine.
Well, Professor Payne, welcome in. The first question JPJ just asked Manny and Dude was, where did you get your love of professional wrestling? When did it start for you?
Oh, it started for me a long time ago. It started for me in the late 70s, early 80s.
Very good.
My uncle was a jobber for WWF. He was Mr. Indiana, Tom Lynch. He did I think it was 53 matches. But so I was my dad was into it too. Back before everything was unified and there were all these different, just little smaller promotions. Everybody kind of jumped in and helped out. And this person would have a ring. This person would have a place to host it. Another person would have a place where the wrestlers could come and hang out. And it just so happened that was at my dad's house, and they would set up the ring in the back, and they would practice and do what it was that they did. I was a wee little tyke, but yeah. And so I got into it then, and then I went to Notre Dame. I heard you guys talking about Notre Dame just as I logged on. I went there with my brother and saw WrestleMania 1 on the closed caption TV.
Very cool.
I think that's when it really hit me, and I was like, wow, it's all larger than life and awesome, and I was just hooked. And so I've been rocking it out now then for over 3 decades. Wow.
Yeah.
Almost 4.
Love that. That's very cool that you had an uncle who, look at enhancement talent or not, 53 matches in WWE is a lot of matches. So WWF at the time, obviously. But that
That's
is
on the right-
very
that's on the
cool.
right-
That's nothing to, that's something that is something to brag about. So that is pretty cool that it was kind of in your family and stuff like that. And your dad was super into it and things like that. Manny, you said that you started watching kind of late 80s. So who were some of the early favorites for you before we got to kind of the love for Mick Foley that inspired this band, obviously, and stuff like that? Who were some of the early favorites for you?
As a kid, it was Hulk Hogan, but now as an adult, it's definitely Sheik.
Yeah.
Cheek was right all along, baby.
He was right all along, damn it. Son of a bee.
Coco Beware, Junkyard Dog. The classics. Macho Man was there.
Yeah.
So many. Dusty Rhodes was another favorite one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Macho Man is my all right, I think I think they're trying to figure
We gotta figure it out.
Macho Man is my goat. He is my top guy ever. Stone Cold, like 1A, really. Those two.
Was Macho Man on the list of potential wrestlers to do in a band inspired by, or?
I think he may have been on the list, but it was like we were doing some references, and one that I wish I would have had at the time was John Cena's jorts.
Yeah,
I did that by the guys. I think we might have to call our next EP that or something.
That'd be good. That'd be good. That'd be a good name. Yeah. Dude, you're actually my favorite iteration of Mick Foley, just so you know. I have an affinity for the Dude Love character. I love all of Mick Foley, one of my all-time favorites, but the Dude Love character to me was just so different from the rest of them that I just loved it. I just loved it. And you saw a side of Mick Foley that, I don't know, it just looked like he was having the most fun when he was doing Dude Love to me. Was that something when you guys were creating this that you were like, I want to be Dude Love? Or like, I want to dress up like the dude? Or was it just kind of, that's just how it turned out? Or were you like, nah, that's my style. I want to do that. That's me.
either I'm the Dude Love member of the band, or I'm out of here.
I'm out.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it happened. I came into the band, I think about after a year and a half or 2 years after they already started.
Okay.
And there was the former bass player was Mickey, and the next persona in line was Dude Love, and honestly, it fits my personality very well. So I'm happy to be the dude, and I'm honored. So,
yeah, I love it. I love it. I mean, look at tie-dye, partying. I mean, what else do you need? What else do you need? The late, it is what it is. It's a good lifestyle to have. It's a good lifestyle to have. All right. Do you guys? Yeah, exactly. Right. So obviously you started watching in the Attitude Era, and that's really where PLUGGO and myself, we are around that age, late 30s, early 40s kind of stuff. Like that's a wheelhouse for a lot of us around that time. Like I said, I live in the New England, Boston area. So I've been lucky enough to go to a lot of shows, and I was in the building. It was a taped show. It wasn't live back then, because they didn't always do things like they do them now. But I was in the building when Mick Foley beat The Rock for the world title in that famous match on Raw. That's considered, the changing of the tides, you could say, with WWF kind of taking back over from WCW. So that was in a town called Worcester, Mass. And
Can we really quick full stop talk about one of the greatest fumbles in wrestling history when WCW shit all over that moment on their program because it was taped, and then everybody just turned the channel immediately.
Mick Foley's going to win the world title tonight. That'll put butts in the seats. Everyone's like, what? I have to go watch the end of Raw now.
Bischoff don't bring that up very often on his podcast.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, that one didn't work out for him.
Definitely on the channel change of that.
Yeah. Oh, there's a world title change tonight on Raw? All right, screw this. I think I'm going to go watch that. That's probably going to be exciting. That was in an old arena. It's still there. It's called a different name now. You could feel the building shaking, especially when Stone Cold came out. When Stone Cold came out, I think maybe the largest pop in the history of pro. It's up there in the short list for me of like biggest pops ever. When his music hits that place, I thought there was a chance it was going to collapse. That's what it felt like. And I was a child. I was like 12 or 13 or something when that happened, or something like that. But like, I felt like it was just an insane moment to be at. And then you saw it on TV, I think like 6 days later or something like that. And it was just an insane time. And that's really one of my claim to fames of like being somewhere cool for a wrestling thing. And it just so happened that you guys are, you know, in a band inspired by the guy that was there in that big moment. But just an all-time moment with Mick and stuff like that. And yeah, that was the moment that changed everything. And it made WWF back kind of take control of things, and it was due to what PLUGGO. It was due to WCW doing it to themselves, kind of.
Yeah. They just shot themselves. Scott said he was there. Call-ups in the house. Call Sports Corner. Welcome into the chat. If you guys got any questions, statements, comments, leave them in the chat. I gotta ask, guys, as I was doing a little research for today, how did Mick Foley respond to this? Because you guys performed with Mick.
Yeah.
You met Mick not too long. I think it was back in October. What was his initial reaction like when he saw you guys in full force?
He was pretty surprised. We had reached out to him on Cameo a few months prior to that, and then we ended up the promoter in Logansport hit us up and he's like, "Hey, we have this gig with Mick Foley. He's coming to do a signing. Do you want to play?" And it's like, "Hell yeah, we want to play."
Nice.
But Mick was just like, he was surprised that anybody would name a band after him. And then he spent like a half hour with us.
Nice.
Before we played. Just shooting the shit with us and just, you know, signing stuff for us. He was really cool. And then we asked him to come on stage, and without hesitation, he was just like, "Yeah, I'll do it. What song number do you want me to come on? What are we doing?"
Nice.
That's awesome.
So he jumped up and did our song Elbow Drop, which is a cover of Blitzkrieg Bop.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. And he nailed it. He had a lot of fun, and we had fun, and we haven't heard from his lawyers yet, so I think we were doing good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I have to imagine, like, when you get started and it's something like that, and like that's the dream, right? To be able to perform with the person that inspired you to start the band. I can't imagine much more like reaching a bigger mountaintop than that. Because Mick Foley, from all accounts, from what I've heard, is just an awesome person to talk to. You get to hang out with. So I imagine he was having a blast.
He really was like the nicest guy ever. I mean, he handled us really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard the same thing from people that have been involved with him. They're just like, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the business. Like, he's just a down-to-earth, cool guy. So that's very cool that you got to perform in front of him and with him. Like, that had to be such a surreal evening or moment.
That was the pinnacle of the band, I think.
Oh, no.
Everything after this, I mean, I don't think anything could compare unless we can get some work with one of the other promotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take him on tour with you or something.
Yeah. Well, you said early on that you had been in bands for, 20, 25 years and stuff like that. Obviously it's a punk band, things like that. So, and I want to hear from both of you. So whoever wants to go first, so where did you first
to music too?
Yeah, because we're big into music as well. So where did that love first come for punk music, or just wanting to be in bands and just punk music in general? Because PLUGGO and I are big punk, heavier music guys as well. So what was that first band, that first moment that kind of made you guys fall in love with the punk lifestyle, wanting to play music, wanting to be in bands? Because it's a cool lifestyle, but it's a hard lifestyle, being in bands, being a full-time musician and things like that. So like what kind of made you guys fall in love with that side of it?
I think for me it was just like high school, right? Like I didn't fit in anywhere. I had some buddies that were just getting into punk, and then it just happened. I just started hanging out with them and just fell in love with it. Like our town's hosted like a lot of cool bands. You might know a few, like Dropkick Murphys played in my basement in '96. Dark Buster, they're from Boston. They've played here a bunch of times. So like with those guys coming through, and just like I fell in love first with like the East Coast sound. So it's like East Coast punk, like this is awesome. And then a lot of the like comps coming out of Epitaph Records, like the Punkaramas. As a high schooler, so it's just like, and then the classic Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah.
Soundtrack to Tony Hawk. I'm in. That's it.
Yeah.
Probably shave my mohawk like a week later.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a gamer too, so like those soundtracks on the Tony, they still to this day, like best soundtracks ever in game. Like, it's just insane. Dude, how about you? Like, when did that love for music and wanting to play music, like, when did that start for you?
Yeah, probably about the same age, maybe even like into kind of middle school times. A couple of my friends got guitars, and I was like, well, there's too many guitar players. So, and I have no rhythm. I better go off with the bass. So that's what I did.
Yeah, I know. Right? I
So
love it. I love it.
I got on that, and honestly, I hate to piggyback, but yeah, the Tony Hawk soundtracks kind of got me in, and I took a deep dive down to like Black Flag era and kind of worked my way up, and just tried to be a student.
Yeah,
So.
I love it. I love it. I love how, man, you threw some of those East Coast bands, like obviously Dropkick Murphys as well. Like they play St. Patrick's Day weekend in Boston. They play the whole week in Boston every night for the whole week. They've been doing it the majority of my life. And they sell, it's just a party. That whole down there, that whole week, and Dropkick plays literally every night for the whole week leading up to St. Patrick's Day being the finale of the week. Yeah, they're obviously Boston legends, and yeah.
I spent a couple St. Pat's days out there in Boston, so
yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah,
it's a good time. All right,
drink with the cops.
Exactly. The green beer. You got to get the green beer. All right, I believe we have him. There he is.
Official.
Oh, there he is.
He's here.
Hey, we did it.
Oh wait, we can't hear him.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, we can't hear him now.
We're getting there. If this is a punk rock, I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, we see him.
We see him.
We can't hear him though.
Nope. Can't hear you though.
We can't hear you.
Oh, wait.
No, not yet.
We're getting.
It's all right. Listen, we're getting there. We can see him. It's all right.
We're gonna make this happen.
No, it's happening, dude. It's happening. I'm not worried. We got time.
Hello.
Time.
Hey, look at there.
All right. There it is. We're here. We know what we're doing.
Apparently, I can't use these headphones. That's okay, though.
All right. Yeah. How are you, my friend?
Technology.
How are you doing?
I am doing well. How is everybody over there?
We are good. We've been talking a little bit of the wrestling history, which we did get that cool story about your family's history in the business and stuff like that. And then I just kind of asked the fellas, like, when did they first fall in love with punk music and like wanted to play in a bands and, do stuff like that. So I'll kind of turn that to you. When did you first kind of fall in love with music and in punk music in general and wanted to be in bands? Like, when did that all start for you?
Sure. So with me, punk music was probably the early 90s. But I was actually my first band in like the late 80s. We were at a Christian rock band called Trinity. We were all
wow.
Oh yeah, we were all I think we were in 7th grade. And played in a first band together, and it was fun, and it was what it was. And then played in a metal band when I was a senior in high school. And then kind of fell out of music for a little bit, and then met a buddy of mine who got into like NoFX and Rancid and stuff like that. This is probably 96, 95, 96. And started listening to them, liked what I heard, was trying to emulate it with some buddies that I had found. And then just it kind of took off, and I've been doing it like on and off ever since. But although I'm in a somewhat punkish band, I get into a variety of different music just because, I mean, I came from a lot of different directions.
Yeah,
so it all depends, what time in your life you are. But no, for punk, yeah, it was definitely a lot of West Coast influence, but also a lot of kind of Midwest and Indiana stuff, Sloppy Seconds and Screeching Weasel and Riverdales and stuff like that as well. So yeah, kind of just a whole conglomeration. And I think me and the boys, we definitely sprinkle our own little bit of magic onto the music, pulling from our past to end up making the unique and zany sound that we have.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah, I like it. I like it because you're saying
Midwest can Punk too, baby. It's not about
look
West Coast, East
yeah,
Coast
Pluggo's
represent.
Pluggo
Indiana,
is a
baby.
South Bend, Indiana boy
That's right.
himself. So yeah,
That's right.
and I like that because you're saying your influences are coming from West Coast and Midwest. Manny's saying he had a little bit of East Coast punk influence. So you kind of, and then your past bands and different genres. Just because you play a certain style of music doesn't mean that's the only style of music you might like. It's not like that. So you take your little things from everything. So that's very, very cool. Yeah, Pluggo, you want to go? You got something? You want to go next, or you want to keep? I was just listening to Indiana for Life. Chef's in the house.
Oh, we got
another. Yeah, we got some Indiana guys in the chat.
Hold on, listen, guys. Earmuffs if you don't want to hear anything. Shut up, Shep. We're keeping that title. He's only coming in to check on the title. This is some beef.
Yeah,
they're from
it's
Indiana
a long-term
as well.
beef we have with some Indiana guys.
Wait.
Okay, so we kind of talked about the.
What was that? Sorry, Manny. What was that?
Is it Shipwreck Shep?
No.
I don't know what he might be a shipwreck.
He might be.
Who knows? The kicking out podcast guys, they're good people, except for just Paul. He's a good person.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much you keep up on the current product today, if you guys watch regularly or not. But is there a wrestler today that you're like that you feel the vibes of Mick Foley of like, I like this guy a lot or this girl a lot? Like I would be into doing like a Seth Rollins inspired punk band.
Man, I love me some Seth Rollins, but I will die on this hill. I am a Cody crybaby.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Sporting it.
Yeah.
But they have so many good wrestlers right now, and there's Seth Rollins. I'm really digging Braun Breaker coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. We are too. We're huge fans of that. That's such a good vibe.
But man, I still love Truth. If he wasn't there, I don't know where I'd get my comedy every week.
Yep. Yeah, our Truth is about to fight John Cena next week at Saturday Night's Main Event. That's what.
Because there's some guys you can put through a table and some guys you can't. And Truth is one of those guys that you can't.
That's what Pluggo was saying.
That's what I said earlier. I was mad about it. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm not a John Cena guy, and then he's messing up my sweet baby Angel Truth. I didn't love that at all.
And I don't like to shit on any promotions. I just don't. I've tried to watch AEW over the years, and it's just like I've tried to get into it. So I just haven't been hooked yet. MJF is great.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. His heel personality, like the persona he carries, like that. I'm better than you, baby. I dig it. I'm a sucker for heels.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously we talk about Mick Foley a lot, obviously. A guy, not so much like in ring style or character wise, but I feel like a guy, I've been saying this for a little while, that like Sami Zayn and the way that the crowd feels about Sami Zayn, I feel like is like this generation's Mick Foley. Like, I feel like the crowd feels the way about Sami Zayn that the crowd felt about Mick Foley in the 90s. He's like that consummate underdog. We always want to root for him kind of guy. And I get strong, again, different in-ring styles and things. I'm not talking about that type of thing, but I'm talking like crowd reaction and the way that the crowd feels about a performer. I get strong Mick Foley vibes with Sami Zayn. I get strong Mick Foley vibes. I don't know if you guys think the same, but that's how, yeah.
Completely agree. I mean, that music hits. You got the hair standing up on your arms, and he could lose an arm and a leg, and he's still going to drag himself through the match. So, yeah. I mean, I love that about him, and he's one of my faves right now.
Yeah.
Skank into the ring. You guys.
Yeah, he does have the skate.
He doesn't do it anymore, really, but he used to back in the day.
Yeah,
it's always a good time.
Yeah,
I wish he'd bring that back a little bit, but
Well, he's serious now. He's had a lot of betrayal.
What about you, Professor Painter, dude? What person in current WWE or AEW or whatever promotion you're into are you like vibing with the most?
I love me some Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I think we all do.
I guess like Rhea Ripley, a little bit of AJ, and anyone that's putting the hurt to CM Punk.
Oh no! Why? What? What's wrong with
Pluggo? I'll let you go. That's one of Pluggo's boys, right? Go ahead.
My 1 and 2 is Punk and Mick. That's the 1-2 for me.
I don't know. He's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I mean, he's yeah, I don't know. I can't get behind him. I just can't get behind him.
That's fair.
That's fair. Dude, how about you?
But I get behind Rhea. And I'd get over, and I'd get around, and I'd get. I love me some Rhea. She's very, very talented, very, very devoted, and a monster in the ring.
She is. She is a beast.
We actually have a song about her. A Force of Nature. Yep, we do.
I would agree. I would agree that she is. She is as over as there is in the company. I would say she is as over, like male, female, whatever. It doesn't matter. She's about as popular as there is right now in that company. When she comes out, they do not cheer louder for many more people. But dude, how about you? Anybody that you're digging from the current stuff going on?
Well, to go with Sami Zayn a little bit, I think that match a while back with him and Kevin Owens and the steel chairs was very reminiscent of Mick Foley. So that kind of went a long way with me. But I think Jacob Fontu. I think he's just a powerhouse, and he's going to keep, climbing that ladder super fast.
Yeah.
Especially, with his lineage.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a guy that it was pretty immediate when he showed up. Like they had Solo running the bloodline and doing all that stuff, and he showed up, and upon arrival, it was like, well, this is the best guy now. So this guy's the best guy here now in this group. So what do we do now? And we're kind of here there with that. Obviously, he's coming off a pay-per-view where he went against an announcer, but I'm a huge Gunther guy. He has 80. He's an old school guy to me. Like the way he portrays himself, the way he wrestles, his character. That to me, he could be he's a guy that could have wrestled in any era and been as good as he is right now. Like that's who he is. 60s, 70s, 80s, doesn't matter. He's as good as he is. He's top of level. He's a guy that I really, really dig. Obviously, he's coming off a title reign, and he's just fought Pat McAfee. I think he's going to be fighting Goldberg here at some point in the SummerSlam, I would guess, for probably Goldberg's last match. So like he's kind of doing some stuff that's not world title-esque currently, but it's still like showcase level stuff. But I'm a big Gunther guy. I think he's just, he calls himself a living legend, and I know that's the shtick, but I kind of think he is. I'm very much a big Gunther, and I love Kevin Owens. Obviously, he's out for a while, but I would say
Gunther in terms of would be the least Punk inspired. If you were going to do a wrestler to do a Punk band for Gunther, because he's so serious, he wouldn't stand for the shenanigans of a mosh pit. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, no. Well, Gunther would just step in there and end the mosh pit, I think. He'd just be chopping bitches all over. They would just fucking swatting people. That's what would be happening. Gunther, we got to go to SummerSlam last year, and Gunther to this day, we've had the privilege of interviewing a few wrestlers at like media junkets, and Gunther to this day is still the only one that I was nervous.
We were scared.
I was when we walked up to him, I was like, oh God.
Because you try to break the ice, right? In conversations, and you tried with him, and he just was not having it. He just was like,
he was a nice guy. Don't
get me wrong. Great,
he does good. But it was like, you try to go up there and you shoot the shit, you crack a joke before you go live, and everyone's like, ha ha, and they humor you. Gunther was like, yeah, no. And we were like, oh, okay. I was like, he's going to chop me. I'm going to die. He's going to chop me, and my heart's going to explode. That's what's going to happen right here. I was nervous. But yeah, I'm a big Gunther and Kevin Owens guy. Kevin Owens to me as well is the guy that he's good with whatever you give him. You give him dog shit, he makes it great. Good guy, bad guy, it doesn't matter. He makes it entertaining. He made Ezekiel entertaining, for crying out loud, because it was Kevin Owens doing that. You know what I mean? So it's like I really like that guy.
I don't think KO gets enough respect on his name for just the amount of work that he puts in.
Mm-hmm.
He elevates everybody around him, right? Like no matter what he's doing, like it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's tremendous.
Yeah, he's one of those. He's an all-timer. It's unfortunate right now he's out with that injury. Hopefully he can get healthy and speed recovery and come back and do something with wrestling again because it's so good. But neck injuries are iffy. So
Yeah, they sure are.
to go back to the music side of things now, independent wrestling is a lot like, being in a band and a punk band and stuff. You kind of take gigs where you can. Sometimes you're wrestling in unique spots. What's the most unique venue setup you guys have done in a punk band? Like, basements I know is always a big one, but is there any you're like, I can't believe we're playing at a Denny's right now type stuff?
We played in a wrestling. We played in at least one wrestling ring, which was kind of cool. We've got like a local convocation center here, and a local promotion was the PWK Pro King Wrestling.
Oh yeah, I know Eric King. Yeah.
Yeah, we played there at the Century Center at the start of this season, back in March.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
You guys did do that.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. It was interesting because of how bouncy the ring is, and our drummer. Oh yeah, the cymbals were swaying, and it's like so we're trying to figure out how to just rock with the motion, so nothing falls. Yeah,
nothing tips over or nothing bad happens.
I got
the bounce factor.
I got in one wrestling ring in my day, maybe two. I got in a wrestling ring and like a real one, like for Warrior when they came to town in the Century Center, and I had trouble getting out. I didn't realize how high up those are too. And the lady's like, "Do you want me to get the stool?" And I go, "No, I could do this."
Brother, under no circumstances. I don't care if you injure yourself. You're not getting a fucking stool for
it.
All right? Nobody
so I can't imagine playing
ass need a stool to get down from this.
I can't imagine playing with your guys'
happening.
high energy playing a punk set in a ring like that because that'd be bouncy.
We were very still.
We had to stay on the perimeter because if we tried to get anywhere close to the middle, it just started swaying and bouncing.
You mean the hardest part of the ring?
Part of the ring, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that must have been.
And usually, when we're live and we're playing, usually like I work the crowd with the wireless mic, so I'm used to like running out in the crowd and all of that. And for that show, I didn't just because it seemed like there was just a lot going on. And when we got in there, it was like, get in there, hurry up, unload, set up, very, very quick sound check, and then, okay, let's go. We're off to the races, because the promotion wants to start too. We got, on the writer, it said, very specific time start and end sort of deal. So we just kind of champed through. We made sure that we had a couple little technical difficulties because of the PA system, but I mean, it wasn't anything that we weren't able to hurry up and bounce back from. And it was just a fun overall show to be able to, play there. And of course, the pictures and everything's cool, but what else is cool is all the fans, because a lot of those wrestling fans, they really dug us because, I guess we were speaking their language as it were musically, and they were, and what we were singing about, it was like, the shtick that we have is very relatable to a lot of people because, a lot of people growing up, pro wrestling was their baby at some time, and for a lot of people it still is. And that's awesome. That's a testament to the art of sports entertainment right there.
100%. 100%. I mean,
that's why we're still here.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I've been watching this stuff for damn near 30 years. Like, like you got, it's one of those things where there are a lot of us that like pro wrestling, but it's still a niche thing. Not everybody gets it. You know what I mean? Not everybody gets it. So when you find other people that get it, you cling. It's like you automatically have a bond, even though you don't
part
know
of that
this
special
person.
club.
Exactly.
Or if you're a guy like me who's like, these guys are hitting all the metrics that I love. Let's get them on the show.
Exactly.
I was like, we got to make this happen.
Yeah, it's like they're wrestling fans. They love Mick Foley, who's one of our favorites. They play punk music, which we love punk music. Like, okay, yeah, this seems like a no doubt slam dunk. Like, yeah, let's talk about all this stuff with these guys. So, it's just that. And punk music is the same way. Really, when you think about it, not everybody gets punk.
Absolutely.
Not everybody understands the punk lifestyle. So when you find other people, you're walking through the mall and you see somebody with the Rancid shirt, you're like, fuck yeah, bro. Or you'll point at the shirt. I can't tell you how many times early in my, I almost said my career, Jesus Christ. Early in my life when I was in high school and I was like,
Life is a career, dude.
you know, I was into the new metal stuff. I was into Slipknot and System of a Down and those bands. And you would go to the mall and I'd be wearing a Slipknot shirt and there'd be a kid with a Korn shirt and we'd be like, fuck, hey, all right. We like this. We like rock music. High five, you know? And then now you go like, I wear a bullet, not recently, but like I remember going to Chicago for the original All In before they were AEW. And I'm walking through the streets and I'm wearing a Bullet Club shirt and there's just random people, Too Sweet, you know, just kind of from across the street. And it's like that same type of bond. It is, you know, it's not the same, obviously, but it is kind of similar with punk people and wrestling people.
That's a community and family, and the fact that it's very niche, you know, being able to, like you said, you know, walk down the street and someone's wearing, you know, say a punk shirt or a promotion shirt, and you just kind of give that up knob.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and instead of the down knob of, you know, hey, you know, nice to meet you. How's the weather? You know, whatever. You give the up knob of, hey, yeah, you and me. You know,
I get you, brother.
For that quick second. Yeah, it all makes sense. It's all that community. You guys may come from worlds apart, but that's the thing that binds you, and that's cool. Yeah, you know,
we just become best friends. Yup, that's kind of how I do
exactly. You'll go and do some wrestling in the garage.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
I've broken many a piece of furniture in my day doing some wrestling moves. So I get
a lot of wrestling shirts. I was walking through O'Hare on a flight, you know, to and from a flight, and I got yeeted across the airport. And you can't do anything but yeet back. I mean,
of course.
It was just like it's that club, and everybody's like looking at us as we're doing the yeet through the airport.
Yeah,
like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah,
so you're not cool enough to understand.
Correct. Exactly. And that's what it is. Like, you don't get it, man.
You don't get it, but we do. Those people, you know? Me and that guy got it. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Right, it is a lot. It's very neat. Like, the group's like very tight in. I've spent many a time at a you know, barn wrestling show. I've been in a basement for a punk show. Like, the groups, they come together and they support. And if you're good people and you do the right things within those communities, everybody's got your back. So. No, it's a win-win, man. You guys are taking care of both worlds, man. I love it. Crossing it over. Maybe some punk fans will become wrestling fans. Maybe some wrestling fans will get more into punk. It's a great thing.
Yeah,
we're ambassadors.
There you go. That's the word. See, I'm not a wordsmith. Shout out to
That's why I am Professor Payne, after all.
That is true.
Do you have to go to school to get that Professor Payne? Like, how many years of school you got to go to become a professor?
You have to actually be able to teach at a place of higher learning, and the institution gives you the title of professor.
There you go. I like it.
I can't just slap Professor Pluggo on my.
I mean, you can. Next week. Well, sure. But I earned mine.
How often do you bring that up within the band? Like, you know, I'm a professor, and you're just dude and Manny.
Every show.
Every show.
Oh, no!
Every show and about every other practice.
Oh, no.
Maybe at our strategic planning meetings. In the bathroom across the urinals. You know, yeah.
That's happened.
All right.
On the bus.
Everywhere he goes.
Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff. That's funny.
We're just gonna. This will be the end of the Foleys here today on Between Two Beers. We've ruined them. No, that's awesome. We do have the song now. The only way I was able to download it is audio, so I don't know how this is gonna work. But I would love to play it for everybody. It's called Macho Man. It's about 3 minutes long. So first and foremost, I know you weren't in the mix when we started talking about Professor Payne. So maybe you can add a little to it. Macho Man. His goat. It sounds like he's on your guys' short list of goats. How did it become inspired with this song to go? How'd that come to be?
You know,
how do you guys pick? And how do you guys pick a song?
Sure. Well, I mean, some of them, you know, it's very organic. It all depends where we are in our headspace when we're at, you know, rehearsal. And Macho Man came about by just, you know, about us talking and reminiscing about some of the defining times in professional wrestling. And we were talking about, you know, Macho Man and Elizabeth and Sherry and Lex. And, you know, we would just, and you know, how, you know, the circumstances surrounding Elizabeth's passing and stuff like that. And it seemed to fit and come together. And before you knew it, we were off to the races. So yeah.
All right. So we are going to play it. So it'll be playing kind of underneath
As we
us
stand
a
here
little
and
bit.
you can go like this, because like I said,
Sure.
I only knew how to get it to download audio and no visual side, so I didn't.
Yeah.
Did the best we could.
That we have this, so we're gonna play the song now. This song is called Macho Man
I've been
by the
listening to it
Foleys,
all
by
day,
the
by the
gentleman.
way.
Yeah, we listened to it like I want to say like
times.
3 or 4 times in a row before we went live. Before you guys, we went live. We were like, oh, this is. We just kept it.
And
on.
it'll be available on streaming services, I believe, on the
30th.
when, Manny? 31st?
30th.
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 On the
So this will be
30th.
available on May 30th on all streaming streaming platforms, everywhere.
Spotify,
Yep.
Apple Music, all that fun stuff.
Beauty. So on May 30th, this will be available on all streaming platforms. This is the Foleys Macho Man. PLUGGO, that was like perfect timing to grab that Slim Jim thing right
Okay,
there.
we
at the end
listened
of that
to
one.
it all day.
Oh yeah, we literally listened.
That
to
is
it
the
like 4
first
times in a row.
musical
Hold on.
performance
Hold on.
we've ever had
We had it on a
here
continuous
between two beards.
Yeah,
That's a first.
that's a kick-ass song, guys. For real, that's a kick-ass song. That's a
Thank
good time.
you.
That's a good time.
First time that anybody's heard of that band.
Hell yeah.
Hey, really? Well, exclusive here. That's
That
what
was
we
a
do.
B2B exclusive.
We appreciate you guys letting us drop that on the show. We
Absolutely, yeah. We appreciate you giving us that privilege of playing that for the first time for people. May 30th, that song will be available on all social media platforms. So very good. That was that was a good time. That was a good time.
Miss Elizabeth was a lot of people's first love. in that
Oh, yeah.
era. So that hit home for a lot of people.
One of my all-time wrestling moments is WrestleMania 7. Retirement match, Macho King versus Ultimate Warrior. Really one of the few really great Ultimate Warrior matches, truly. Because Macho Man was that good that he could get a good match out of the Ultimate Warrior. And the whole ending sequence when Sensational Sherry turned on the Macho King and Elizabeth came out of the crowd and beat her up and showed her off and they hugged. That whole moment is great. But more importantly, one of my true goats, Bobby the Brain Heenan, on commentary is so disgusted about everything that is happening. He's making fun of people crying in the crowd. He's like, it's just, he is so good. Bobby the Brain Heenan on that. Like they're showing a woman crying and he's like, this is disgusting. And he's just so, that whole thing, like I was laughing my ass off. And it's still one of my favorite sequences in the history of my wrestling fandom. Is just that whole thing. It's tremendous. And then that's when he became the Macho Man again and he was a good guy and, you know, all that fun stuff. But that moment with Elizabeth and Sherry and Bobby Heenan on commentary is just an all-timer for me. Very good. Very good. Yeah, that's, I know you said that was the first time everybody else has heard it. It's literally the 5th or 6th time PLUGGO. Because we listened to it literally. I hopped in the stream and he was already here and it was already playing. And I was like, well, this is a punk song, so I'm assuming it's from our guests. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, we just kept it going for like 20 minutes. We were just like, yeah, just whatever. I'm digging it. We're digging it. So that was a lot of fun. All right. Is now obviously this song is the only thing that's been releasing on May 30th?
Yeah, just this one, and then next month we're gonna release another song called "Comeback Kid."
Oh,
that will be July or June 27th, and then we're still working post production and still doing a little bit of recording on the full album. We just wanted to get some stuff out there and in the hands of the masses before the summer really kicked off.
Hell yeah. Love that. So we'll have a couple. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I wouldn't know because I've never been in a band, but it's got to be a little easier these days. You can just record that song, get some buzz going while you work on the full album, opposed to doing a full album and then putting out, you know, physical media and all that kind of crazy stuff. It gets kind of hectic, so it's got to be a little easier for you guys these days.
Yeah,
sort of, but it's kind of a double-edged sword too because of the buildup. You know, like back in the day, you had a buildup of an EP, and then you're able to release your full length. And now in this age of hypermediacy that we live in, if you're not constantly feeding the algorithm and feeding people new material, they're going to go elsewhere. So on one side, yes, you're absolutely right. But on the other side, there's a lot of new work now that needs to be had in making sure that we're constantly plugging and reaching and
it almost feels like if you go too long, like in the way, like you said, I think that the hypermedia, that's a good way to put it. I feel like if you go too long, we're just and it's not necessarily says anything about you or us or anything like that. Just people will move on to the next thing. It's just like, oh yeah, I like that song. I like that, but I haven't heard it from those guys for a month now. So now I'm on to this thing over here. And that's where I am.
Back in the day, your record collection or your cassette collection or your CD collection, I mean, you wore those things out because they were, they were what you listened to, and you had to buy physical media or maybe trade it with someone, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now to just click on a button on a device that everybody has, and you have, millions, if not billions of songs available, from
100%.
100 years. So,
yeah, so I can see, especially for guys that have been doing this for a long time. You said there is some good and some bad, but do you think, in general, do you think it's harder now in this with the way that people consume things nowadays? Like, is it more of a struggle?
I think that it's easier for people to get it out so that it's there to the masses. I think that, as far as online is concerned, it's really, it's opened it up to where you could record something in your, bedroom and jump onto a phone or a laptop and boom, it's to the masses. And I mean, we see that every day, how songs just go viral that you'd be like, how did that go viral? You know, and it wasn't a big production, or it wasn't backed by a team of people. Sometimes it's very organic. And I think that's the part of the internet that I kind of like, is the fact when there's that organic story of, hey, we're a few hardworking people, and we get together and play music, and this is what we do. And then other people can vibe to it and be like, hey, I like what you're doing, And so with Spotify and YouTube and everything, those, once again, they're like bigger communities. They're virtual communities. The youth understand it a lot more than maybe a lot of the older punkers and stuff like that. But I mean, they still know their way through certain platforms like YouTube and stuff like that. So it's nice to be able to, make it available on multiple platforms. So it's just like multiple neighborhoods that you're going to, passing out flyers, but they're digital, So
well, one of the big struggles really is so not only do we have to constantly be relevant on the streaming services, we have to constantly find that niche in social media, because there's like 800 different social medias out there. So we have all of this stuff that it's a constant competition to get your music or your art out into the algorithm and actually have people consume it. And our one biggest advantage we have is we do everything DIY. So we have all the recording gear. We record all our own albums. We don't have to go to a studio. Like T-shirts, we have a T-shirt printing press.
Nice.
So we do everything like in-house.
We produce our own merch. We got a bus, so we drive down together to all
everywhere.
Nice. Yeah. So that
the true DIY spirit. I love that.
I love that. I mean,
that's how I got my start in this space, and then we kind of still, we work and love wrestling now, but JPJ and I kind of still DIY the shit out of our social media and try to
it's all us, all the stuff that we promote, all the stuff, when we reach out to people to get them on it's all us. Like we don't show up and the boss man is like, oh, I got you this guest this week. It's like, no, we do it.
They definitely help us out with the beautiful setup, but
but a lot
I love
of
that spirit.
Yeah, so that is the punk rock spirit, is it not?
Yeah.
Well, and I think that makes it, probably for the both of you, that makes it more satisfying when you're growing organically like that, because you're making connections a fan at a time, just like we are when we're on stage at live shows. We're reaching out, when we're there, maybe not everybody gets the shtick, but I think, not only is it punk and is it wrestling, but just, musicianship in general, or being an entertainer, how you're presenting yourself or working the crowd, or how your set is. I think by being able to win those fans one T-shirt at a time, or one play at a time, even, it's to a point now, once again, where technology and the internet helps, to where they say, hey, check out this band I saw, or they'll have their phone and they'll record a short and turn it into a reel or something like that. So, I mean, I think at least, as far as I'm concerned, when you look at, digital versus analog, pre-internet versus internet, I think it's a good way to be able to move everything in a way that you can utilize both. You can utilize the digital side, but still make those connections organically. And so I think the trick is to find the sweet spot to where you're getting the best out of both worlds, right? And I think that just comes with time. It comes with building a fan base. It comes with, trying things, throwing everything against the wall and seeing what sticks, and some things, are going to fail. But what they say, the road to success was paved in failure, right? So you just try something else, adjust and pivot. And I think that, bands or podcasts or, anything in life, if you just stick at it, if you read the signs, if you pivot when you're supposed to, you can end up making leaps and bounds and putting yourself in a good situation. Maybe not a fiscally great, I'm a millionaire situation, but I tell you what, there are a lot of memories that I have from being on the road that are priceless, that I probably could not put a dollar amount on, because those are the things that I sit back and I'm like, yeah, I went there, I did that, I met this person, or, you know, this crazy thing happened. And I think that's kind of in every gigging musician's mind. They're like, yeah, you know, I do it for the experience. Yes, it's nice to get paid, but you do it for the love of the music, the love of the game, the love of the, you know, the joy of doing it, you know. So
yeah, and I think that's true. And I'm not to get morbid, but when, you know, when you're on your deathbed, you're not thinking about how much money you had in your bank account. You're thinking about the experiences you had in your life. That's what you're thinking about, right?
Thinking about, I got to play on stage with Mick Foley. Like,
yeah, like,
I can't put a number on that.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, yes, having, you know, the financial, obviously that helps and that makes life easier and things like that. But really, at the end of the day, like, those experiences are the things that you are going to take with you, and you're going to remember more than how big the number in your bank account is. You know what I mean?
So experiences. Shep says I should drive your bus. I wouldn't put you through that, guys. Tanner said I should.
I mean, he is right in South Bend, so if you ever need
I don't need to ride the bus. I just come. I just come visit next time you guys play in town.
He's not far from you, boys. He's not far from you guys. So,
PLUGGO will be playing in New Carlisle Saturday night at Monroe's Crossing.
Saturday night.
All right. Well, I was just gonna say we're about at our time, so I was gonna have you guys
plug your stuff. Yeah,
you
New Carlisle's not too far from the Bend, right?
No, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah. So any upcoming shows? Yeah, any upcoming shows? Obviously, we know Macho Man is going to be being released on May 30th on all platforms as we listen to that. But yes, any upcoming shows like the one you just mentioned, more stuff where people can find you on social media, plug your band, plug your stuff individually. The floor is open to all three of you to kind of plug your stuff. And obviously, thank you for joining us tonight. This has been a hell of a time. We've very much enjoyed ourselves. So
hey, thanks for having us. Hit us up on any of the social medias. We're on Facebook. We're new to TikTok, so we're trying to work through those. Try to hit those a lot. Instagram. You can email us the Foleys at wreckedhooligan.com. Yeah, any way, any social medias that are out there, we're pretty much on. Feel free to stop by, talk to us.
Love it.
Yeah, for me, check out mine. Check out my Facebook, Professor Payne. I'm on there. My Instagram as well. Foleys are looking to play July 19th out in Salina, Ontario. So we are going north of the border to be able to enrich the Canadian people on our
Sarnia.
Sarnia. Yeah.
Well, to all of our Canadian brethren here, go check out the Foleys, because this is a Canadian ran website.
Yeah, gotcha. So and we'll be playing right across the bridge. We play on the Detroit area the night before, and then we play across the bridge the next night, which would be on July 19th at AJ's Bar and Music Hall.
Beauty.
And we've got some other gigs peppered throughout June as well, where I think we're at the Melody Inn. I want to say June 12th. I believe, with the Jasons, which is a Jason themed punk band. So,
Nice.
Damn, that's badass too. Dang. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Love it.
Yeah, and so just check out our press kit, and it has all of the dates that we have, and we push them out pretty regularly on social media. So any gigs that anyone's looking for, you know, we might be in your area. If we're not in your area, then drop us a line, and we may be able to come to your area. If we get enough of a response, we will absolutely pack up the hardcore hauler, which is what we affectionately call the bus, and we will play your town.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we gotta try to get you guys out east here. I feel like the Boston area would be a good little we show up for our wrestling and our punk around here.
Let's make that happen.
Well, yeah. Let's do Jamaica Plains. We'll do the Midway?
Yeah. You got some places. There's a couple small places in like other towns, Revere and Chelsea. Yeah, there's some spots down near the outskirts of by. Yeah, I think you guys could clean up here. So we should try to see if I can. I'll just start yelling in the streets of Boston, and somebody will listen to me. And then
there you go. It was a pleasure having. It was a pleasure having us here. I know you're going overtime, but I want to say
you're
so much
good,
for having me to come and
we do. We do around here. We could stay up all night if we wanted, but
Yeah, no. When PLUGGO came across you guys and he told me about it, I was like, absolutely. See when they're available. Get them on as soon as they can be. Yes, let's make that happen. And this has been a great time.
Yeah,
We
you guys
appreciate
are welcome anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime new music drops, drop us a line. We'll help push it out. We'll retweet it.
We'll
repost
promote it. We'll push
You
that
guys-
stuff out for you on our end. If any new music, any stuff you want to promote, obviously open door policy here. You guys are welcome back to talk more music, to talk wrestling, whatever you guys want. Shep, mind your business. The East Coast is fine. Anyway, we're mourning Jason Tatum, but other than that, we're fine. Be quiet. Yeah, no, appreciate you guys being here. This has been a hell of an interview, and thank you for letting us kind of share that song with the world for the first time. We appreciate you giving us the blessing to do so there. That's very cool. We appreciate you guys being here anytime. This was a lot of fun, so thank you guys for taking the time to be here.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely,
Thanks
guys.
for having us.
So we'll do the damn thing. We'll talk to Sue. We'll get on out of here.
All right, sounds good, fellas. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll be doing this again real soon sometime.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right,
See
have
ya.
a good one, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is the Foleys, everybody. That badass song, Macho Man, that PLUGGO and I have listened to half a dozen times already. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Great dudes. Go check them out.
Great dudes.
I'm gonna have to drop them a line when they're in town. I know they said, "Well, let's see what my schedule's like." This
They're
weekend.
playing right near you. You guys.
If the timing works, because I got travel soft.
That's why I'm like, I need to get them out. I need to get them out to Boston so they're close to me, so I can go. I can go to a show, so they're close.
Well,
to
if Manny and Dude, I still see them hanging. If they want to hang after we do the Sue wrap up real quick, I'll see if I can get their information. If that thumbed up, so we're gonna do that. We'll go ahead and get out of here. It's been great. What a show. You're not kidding, Tanner. It was a hell of a show. But I'm PLUGGO. You can find me on all social media platforms. You just look up PLUGGO. You see this face. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. I'm back with Blair Pacheco for Exposure Pod. We're going to talk in the world of independent wrestling at 10 a.m. this Saturday. There's a GCW show this weekend, LPW news, all that fun stuff will be there. And then all my writings are up on lovewrestling.ca right now. And then I did an interview with Najee for the recap of NXT. So if you want to hear me chop it up with Najee, check out Najee stuff. He rules. You're going to be on soon, I hear. And then at B2Beer, at B2B for also at B2B for all social media platforms to know what we've got coming up, guests we got coming up, things are happening. You want to stay tuned to that. And then we'll get JPJ stuff. We'll get out of here. We'll say hi to Sue, and then I'll chop it up with Manny and see if we can figure out if I can get to this show or not.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you can follow me.
I'll suck it, Shep. I'll suck it, Tanner.
You can follow me
awesome.
at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms, including Twitch and YouTube. The streaming has been sparingly happening the last month or so as I'm kind of training at a new shoot job, but it'll be back to kind of normal and things of that nature. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. You know, me and PLUGGO here every Thursday night for you. Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. 4 years. Earlier this week, we hit our 4-year anniversary of the first show, which is just crazy to think about. Thursday mornings, 9 a.m. right here on Love Wrestling. Firmly Inc. with my pal Drew Nicholas. We talk the week in WWE and the week in AEW. And then over at our pals bodyslam.net, Monday nights after Monday Night Raw, you have Raw Dogs. Wednesday nights after Dynamite Up. So you can catch me on Body Slam over there. If you are going to be in the Edmonton area on May 30th, you can purchase LPW 37 tickets tonight only, and you can get $5 off using the code OILIN5. All right. So if you're going to be there, you want to watch some great independent wrestling. I would say the best independent wrestling in all of Canada, let alone the Pacific Northwest of Canada. You have a chance to get $5 off tickets if you go to the website and type in OILIN5 as the code. But that is going to be it for us. I'm holding this up because I am the Kicking Out Podcast champion. I will be joining them next week. We will be joining them in tag team action, and we will be destroying them again. And this will be staying right here forever and always, because on your best day, you can't touch us.
All right.
Now, everybody say hi to Sue.
Hi to
we
Sue.
love you
Hi,
all.
Sue.
We'll see you next week.
We'll be here. Bye.
Hey there, PLUGGO and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue. and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. You know, get a grip. You you have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm gonna cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer gonna get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway,